You can hear the sound of powerful 125cc engines being sparked up into life in the background, because we're about to go racing with our DD2 pre-final here at Adria in northern Italy for the Rotax International Open 2015, the last big RGMMC organised European adventure of the year, and the qualifier, the last chance to qualify for these drivers for a place in the grand finals in a couple of weeks' time in Portugal. The grid then is on screen. The results based on everybody's combined results from the heats yesterday, and with a couple of wins and a second place finish, Andreas Bachmann is the driver on pole position. You will have just heard from him on RGMMC TV and here at the circuit. So Andreas Bachmann is on pole in kart number 603 representing Sweden. Kevin Ludi from Switzerland is alongside in kart 609. And from Yannick Brandt on the social stream, good luck to Kevin Ludi and Philip Siwa. Push, 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 he says. And another message from Danny Kroos, good luck to Team Dams in all of the races this weekend. So on the row 1, Bachmann and Ludi. On row 2, it's Ville Verlaine, number 689, the quick finish driver, and Konstantin Scholl, number 669. Row 3, Jan Vuncek, number 690, and the best Masters driver who you just heard from, Robert Schlunsen from Denmark in kart number 700. First race weekend for him for 10 years. Row 4, Steve Bull, number 651, and Guillaume Berthaud, the second best placed master, number 704. And to complete the top 10, Aaron Sherlock, who was a race winner yesterday in 683, and Jose Brito, who had to come from the back of all his heats yesterday and was mightily impressive, the Ecuadorian, to come through and be 10th on the grid for this pre-final. So there are 30 drivers in total ready to go racing. We lost a couple as the weekend has gone on. Andreas Bachmann making a return to DD2 and to the RGMMC fold after finishing third in the championship, the Euro Challenge Championship last year. Kevin Ludi, who's took, I think, his 5th Swiss Championship title in recent weeks. He is there alongside. And then the Finnish driver and the Austrian driver, Verlaine and Scholl on row 2. And some other quick drivers to come from a bit further down the pack as the race gets underway. Mighty start once again from Andreas Bachmann. Into second place is the driver that was right behind him on the grid, Ville Verlaine, with a white helmet. Then it is Kevin Ludi, who's always going to lose a place or two on the outside. But as he said to me this morning, it doesn't matter too much because there's plenty of places to overtake and catch them back up again. I think, though, they're going to be sent back around. So they've been received the signal from the marshals, and the marshals have been told by Thomas Leiner and the team that they weren't happy with the start. It was too spread out, I guess, and so they've been slowed down. So it's a full start, and they'll group themselves back together again. Strangely enough, Kevin Ludi, you don't have to be in the top 3 in the Euro Challenge. It's not the only way you can gain a place to the grand finals. You can do it domestically as well. But even though he won the Swiss Championship title, they didn't give him a place to the grand finals. So he's having to come here to try and do so, despite being a 5-time Swiss champion, which seems very, very odd indeed. But he'll be one to watch here. 2 podiums this year. And as we've said a couple of times this weekend, only bad luck in one of the races that really, in Italy, that caused him to drop down the championship table. Otherwise, for sure, he would have been in the top 3 and challenging for the win. Steve Bull's one to watch from 7th on the grid. The British driver, had a chat with him this morning. He's looking to do a full season in Europe next year. Races in the BNL Championship in DD2. He's done some senior Rotax back in the UK and is enjoying the circuit here in his first time at Adria. And Aaron Sherlock had a problem with the kart. It was stuck in gear and then the ignition went, which is why he's a bit further back on the grid after disappointment in Heat 1. Back away we go then. The race fires off into turn 1. Another good start for Andreas Bachmann, but it's a much worse start this time, I'm afraid, for Kevin Ludi. He's going to wind up about 7th here. Not such a good start either for the driver 3rd on the grid, Verlaine. He's still 3rd, but in between them has come, I think, Steve Bull. Yeah, Steve Bull, mega start. He's gone up to 2nd place from 7th on the grid. So Andreas Bachmann leads, Steve Bull 2nd, but looking at the inside of Bull on the way into turn 6 is Verlaine. The Finnish driver got halfway alongside, then had to back off out of the move, so he remains in 3rd place. Steve Bull going well. Reckoned when I spoke to you. Oh, contact up at turn 9. Verlaine runs into the side of Steve Bull. Yellow flags come out. Verlaine's kept going, but been delayed. Steve Bull has been heavily, heavily delayed, and it's going to drop about 2/3 of the way down the field. That was a real shame for him up at turn number 9. I was about to say he reckoned he'd saved his tyres for the weekend as well. And Kevin Ludi was another one that reckoned he saved some good tyres for today, which should come into play. But he hasn't had a great start to the race, Kevin. He's down in 5th position. He was 6th until that happened. He's about to become sixth again because Constantin Scholl with the yellow helmet goes up the inside of him and passes him, and so too does Guillaume Berthaud. And Guillaume is the best placed master. He's just got into the top 6. What's happened to Robert Schlunzen? He's down in 14th place. He was actually lower than that at one point. So Schlunzen got delayed heavily at the start of the race, has dropped way back down into 14th place. Still the second best master. Kawazi Tomokazu a couple of places behind him in 16th. Should be higher up as well, had he not had a DNF in race number 1 with a technical drama. There's been more yellow flags up at the last bit of the course through sector 3. A couple of karts coming together further down the order, but they got going again. So Andreas Bachmann leads. Constantin Scholl is coming through. Aaron Sherlock is in second place. Why is he not showing on the screen? Aaron Sherlock is there in second. He's fired his way through from 9th on the grid. Constantin Scholl being shown up there as well. And then Guillaume Berthaud being shown as running up in 3rd place now. Joey Alder's up in 4th position. Is Aaron Sherlock a lap down? I think he is actually. Aaron Sherlock is a lap down. So I'll say he sort of appeared from somewhere all of a sudden, but Aaron Sherlock obviously got into strife on the first lap. So although it looks like he's running second, he's actually a lap down. And yes, 3.5 seconds is the gap that Andreas Bachmann has. So Bachmann crosses the line. The driver behind him, who you would think would be up there because he's been very quick this weekend, is actually a lap down. So that is, I'm afraid, Aaron Sherlock. And then the driver with the red suit, yellow helmet, that's Constantin Scholl, number 669. He's in second place. Now timing screen corrects itself and does say Aaron Sherlock is second. So a bit of a glitch there, I think, on the transponder of the timing system. So there he is second. He's not a lap down. He was shown as a lap down, and now it's corrected itself. So let's go for it again. Andreas Bachmann is first. Aaron Sherlock is second. And Constantin Scholl is third. Joey Alder's fourth. Guillaume Berthaud fifth. And still the leading master, Kevin Ludi, in sixth place. Christian Davis is up to seventh. Philip Alainen, eighth after the contact with Steve Bull. Robert Schlunzen's back up to ninth. And Jose Brito rounds out the top 10. Third best master is Tomokazu, who's made a couple of places up in 14th position. So Sherlock is there by rights. And he is beginning to catch, slowly but surely, the race leader, Andreas Bachmann. So Sherlock up from 9th place, and if he get pole position from there, that would be a mighty result. He must have had a very, very good start to carve his way through from the 4th row of the grid. The gap from first to second then shown on your screen, and you can see the last 2 laps that by only a 1/10.5, Aaron Sherlock has been closing the gap to Andreas Bachmann. So he's closing, but it's not hugely. Although on this lap, it looks perhaps like he might do an even better lap. But there's not much between them. There's 3.5 seconds back then to Constantin Scholl. Joey Alder's 4th, Kevin Ludi 5th, Christian Davis still there, just behind them. Through go the leaders. Aaron Sherlock does a 50.396 for Andreas Bachmann though, so the gap's gone out again. So Bachmann with a very good lap. Sherlock just had a slip there somewhere, perhaps towards the end of the lap, and that cost him some time. He's still second, and he's still well clear of Constantin Scholl in 3rd place. In 4th place with the light coloured suit, the white suit, is Joey Alders. And then it's Kevin Ludi trying to catch them up now in 5th position. Christian Davis running very nicely in 6th place. He was a long way down the grid in 20th. It's been a coming together further back. Tamsin Germain's had a coming together coming out of turn 4. And the driver that was with her, I think, might have been 706, which is Lajos Loksky. Both of them delayed, both of them dropped down the order. Coming up to half distance in the race at the end of this lap, 7 of 14. Andreas Bachmann's just done a personal best lap time, 50.1, and that is the fastest lap of the race. So Bachmann with the fastest lap of the race now, and you can see that the tide has turned. The last couple of laps, the gap has been growing from first to second, and he's now 1.8 seconds. Aaron Sherlock, number 683, in second place. There you can see on screen that in the last 2 laps, Andreas Bachmann has taken 7/10. He's pulled 7/10 clear of Aaron Sherlock. 2/10 last time around and half a second the lap before that. See Steve Bull trying to work his way back up through the order. Currently in 15th place at the start of the lap. And what about Constantin Scholl in 3rd position? He's out on his own, really. Nothing to worry about. Joey Alders and Kevin Ludi are lapping very similar pace to him as well. So not much to report in terms of the gaps from 3rd to 4th and 4th to 5th. On his own in 6th place is Christian Davis. Just coming up to 7th is Jose Brito. So Jose Brito Was going like an absolute rocket at times yesterday. Let's keep an eye on his progress now. He's in kart number 705, closing in as they hit the brakes and go through the hairpin at turn 4. And he's got through the pack a little bit now. Let's see what his real pace is like. Guillaume Berthaud has been dropping back down the pack. He's 9th, but he's still the leading master. He's only 2 places clear, though, of Robert Schlunzen. So Guillaume Berthaud won't be too long if it stays like this, and he might come under pressure from Robert Schlunzen. In between them at the moment is Cosimo Francesco Durant in the number 695 kart. So Berthaud is 9th, Durant is 10th, Schlunzen right behind Durant in 11th place, and trying to secure this victory as the best Masters driver. Only the top master gains a place for the grand finals. At the head of the field, 1.7 seconds is now the gap for Andreas Batman. He's really made good his escape at the start of races, but Aaron Sherlock's going to be much closer to him on the grid for the final if it stays like this. And Aaron is one of only 2 or 3 drivers this weekend that's been able to match the pace of Andreas Batman on a regular basis. So Aaron, the Irish driver, going well. Just did a 50.275, a fraction quicker than Andreas Batman on that lap. And he's, again, lapping very similar times to Konstantin Scholl behind him in 3rd, Joey Alders in 4th, and Kevin Ludi in 5th. They're all doing 50.2s. Through towards turn 2, and the braking zone goes the race leader. What about the battle of the Masters? Robert Schlunzen goes past the commentary box and is still trying to find a way past Francesco Durant. And Durant's just done a 50.3, a 50.29 for Robert Schlunzen, and only a 50.5 for Guillaume Berthaud. So Robert Schlunzen and Cosimo Durant working together to try and catch Guillaume Berthaud. Guillaume Berthaud, in turn, is glued to the back of Ville Verlaine, number 689. So that's the battle for the Masters honours. 3rd in the Masters is now Kawazi Tomokazu, and he's come up well into 12th place. So the top 3 Masters all going pretty well in this race. Certainly Schlunzen and Tomokazu are capable of finishing well in the top 10 in this entire field, if not higher. But they didn't get particularly good starts. So we've got onto the 11th lap of the race now. It's a 14-lap race. All calm at the head of the field. From 3rd to 4th, though, the gap's just starting to creep down. Konstantin Scholl, the red suit, the yellow helmet, number 6'9", just being caught bit by bit by Joey Alders, number 681. Kevin Ludi on a similar pace just behind. There you can see 7:05 on screen. That's Jose Brito, who's come up to 6th place now. So he got past Christian Davis last time around. So Jose Brito could well be the fastest man. In fact, he is the fastest man on the track. He's just on the fastest lap at 50.066. So Jose Brito trying to reel them in now, and would love to be 5th rather than 6th on the grid and have the inside line. One kart has come to grief up at turn 2, and the driver is out. And it looks like 695. I think, which is Cosimo Francesco Durant. Is that right? Yes, it is. Now, he was going pretty well in the top 10. So Cosimo Francesco Durant has stopped out at turn 2, and that puts then Guillaume Berthaud 9th, Robert Schlunzen 10th, and Kawaza Tomokazu 11th. So they're all getting together now in that battle. Actually, there's a big gap back to Tomokazu, but certainly Robert Schlunzen is coming after Guillaume Berthaud now that he's free of Durant, who was in between them. And Guillaume Berthaud can't get past Ville Verlaine. So 9th and 10th, the top 2 Masters going into the final stages of this race, and there could be a change there. And again, the extra incentive for Robert Schlunzen, not just to win the Masters in this pre-final, but to get the inside line and finish 9th rather than 10th for a better, much better grid spot for the final. Andreas Batman, number 603, leading the way by 2.5 seconds now from number 683, Aaron Sherlock. 669, Konstantin Scholl is 3rd. 681, Joey Alders in 4th. 609, Kevin Ludi in 5th. Jose Brito catching him up in 6th place, though, number 705, at quite a rate of knots, but with quite a big gap still to try and bridge. And we're on the penultimate lap of the race now. We've got Ville Verlaine in up to 7th now. Christian Davis has been passed, so he's 8th, and then it's Berthaud and Schlunzen 9th and 10th, the top 2 Masters drivers. Schlunzen coming back from a bad start to the race as Andreas Batman crosses the line to begin the last lap of the race. Andreas has just made good his escape from pole position every time, really, this weekend, while others have struggled and fought each other. He's just got his head down and pulled away in the first few laps of the race. if they're going to beat him, they're going to have to really challenge him much earlier on in the race, because he's going to be hard to catch once he's out front, such is his pace. Now, Guillaume Berthaud has just been passed by Robert Schlunzen, so the Masters lead has changed. So Schlunzen's gone through at the start of the lap into turn 2 and has got ahead of Guillaume Berthaud. They make their way through 4 and 5 now and up to turn 6. So change for the Masters lead. It looked like it was coming, and Schlunzen back up to 9th place. Meanwhile, Andreas Bachmann is about to come into the final corner for the final time in the pre-final. There he is, number 603, takes the checkered flag. Another win for Andreas Bachmann. He'll be on pole position for the final this afternoon. Aaron Sherlock in 2nd place, 3.2 seconds behind, but a good effort from 9th on the grid. 3rd, Konstantin Scholl. 4th, Joey Alders. 5th, Kevin Ludi. Jose Brito, a good recovery to 6th. 7th place, Ville Verleinen. 8th place, Robert Schlunzen, getting ahead of Guillaume Berthaud. So they both found a way past Christian Davis on the last lap. So Schlunzen, sort of bittersweet that. He wins the Masters, but he ends up 8th. And he's going to be in the outside row then for the start of the race. So Schlunzen 8th, Guillaume Berthaud 9th, Christian Davis 10th, Kawazi Tamakazo up to 11th. Steve Bull recovered to 12th. It was a long way down after that contact early on. It was a real shame for Steve because he made a mega start. Stefanos Kamitsakis was 13th, Karolis Vilkatish in 14th, and Philip Siwa rounded out the top 15. So we had that confusion with the transponder of the timing system. It looked like Aaron Sherlock from the screen was a lap down, but then when it corrected itself, we realised he charged through and finished in 2nd place. So we're well pleased with that, but slightly nervous of being on the outside row for the start of the race. So Andreas Bachmann will be on pole. Aaron Sherlock will line up alongside him on the front row. Konstantin Scholl and Joey Alders will be on row 2 for the final this afternoon. Kevin Ludi and Jose Brito will be on row 3 for the final. And then we'll have Ville Verleinen and Robert Schlunzen on row 4. And on row 5, completing the top 10, we'll have Guillaume Berthaud and Christian Davis. That's the top 10 at the end of the pre-final for DD2. Jose Brito with the fastest lap, 50.066 seconds. And a few non-finishers there. Apokinas, Francesco Durant, Tamzin Germain, Xavier Pazzoli, and Kamitsakis failed to finish the race as well. So DD2 finals to look forward to later on with Andreas Bachmann on pole.